Hi, everybody. This is Nanette Kennedy with Humanities Team, and I have dear friend and partner in crime here, Reverend Robert Brzezinski. And I'm going to hand it over to him so he can introduce himself and tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Oh, thank you, Nanette. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
Welcome, folks. For those that are familiar with this prayer call, you know that this, for the longest time, has happened on the final Wednesday of every month. And with a new way of being and a new vision on life, we're making some changes and moving this to the first Sunday. So moving forward, please know that we're going to be here on the first Sunday of every month. And we're going to continue to do everything we can to cover as many prayer requests as we can each and every month. So I'll talk a little bit more about how our prayer works and all that in a moment. But first, I want to get us started exactly with that, with the power of prayer. Get us centered, get us focused, get us into that place where we can move into a prayerful experience for those around us and those on the call. So if you're in a safe space and it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, please join me in doing so. As I come to know the One, as I come to recognize God, as I come to recognize the oneness that is God's life, known by many, many, many names. Some call it Buddha, or Brahma, or Yahweh, Vishnu, Kuan Yin, Muhammad, Source Energy, Allah. No matter the name, no matter the image, no matter the icon, the oneness of life reveals itself as all, as everyone, as my life, as your life, as the lives of everyone on this call, everyone being touched by the vibration of truth that is raising up here this day. We come together as the one, each and every living being, a divine emanation of God's life, source and supply. The oneness revealing into experience, into demonstration, into manifestation. And so what I know the one is forever taking on form and abandoning that form in order to take on new form. In our lives, we are a vessel, we are a conduit, we are an avenue through which this co-creative power, this co-creative relationship with God reveals itself through that pattern. Things fall away and new emerges. And so as we launch into this experience together today, I invite each one to be in that place of open to the newness, of letting go of the old, letting go of what no longer serves, casting aside any beliefs in limitation or lack or suffering, and step into the possibility, the opportunity for absolute healing and a divine revelation of oneness. That is what we're about today. That is what is happening here today. And I am grateful to be a part of that, to share this word, and to share this great, glorious experience. So I am open, I let it be, and I affirm the truth by saying, and so it is. Now, one or two things you may have noticed there, folks, real quick, is that this is not a begging and a beseeching prayer. This is not me down on bended knees saying, God, please bless me and these certain people to the exclusion of others. This is an affirmation of truth as we know it and a revelation of truth as we experience. And at the end of each segment of the prayer, you'll hear me use the term, and so it is. Very similar to the concept of amen or so mote it be. Many, many different words to cast, phrases to cast that word into the law, into the universe, and that is what we're doing. So let's bring Nanette back on with us, and we're going to get into some more specific requests.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start out with a couple of large ones here. We have, and I don't expect you to, there's lots of names, so Julia, Veronica, Victoria, an anonymous individual, Rajesh, Rodella, Lorraine, Sukhdev, Irfan, Ramprasad, Nuhu, Aubrey, Warren, Sister Emily, Jane, Upendra, Rosa, Enu, Edward, Stanislav. They would all like prayers for themselves or relatives and friends who are suffering from illnesses, cancer. They're also asking for successful surgeries, conception, and emotional strength.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Slipping into an even deeper recognition of the oneness we have affirmed here already this day. As I hear these lists of names and knowing there are many, many more across the planet, those whose names are pouring into the prayer request line even right now, those that may be typing their names in comments and their requests in the comments or wherever it is, there is a great impulse, a great sense, and a great desire to know the truth of God's life as a physical perfection, as the perfect model of human life, of human expression and experience, in various forms, in various ways. No two people looking exactly alike, no two people operating exactly alike, and yet the humanity of life is emerging in new and glorious ways. And so what I know is I know that beyond the names, we are activating the power of absolute healing in the very request, in the very experience of saying, help me, I desire this truth. In that very moment, each and every one who has been named here today and those unnamed are part of a vibration that says we are coming to know a great and glorious healing on the physical plane. Any experience of suffering or harm, none of that is the truth of God, and it is completely unnecessary in the human experience. And so we affirm an absolute and complete physical healing of every discord, of every malady, of every sense of suffering, of every sense of dis-ease. For there are no dis-eases in the mind of God. There is the ease. The dis-ease is the humanness, is the human condition. And we may, and through the power of this word, we do transcend that human condition. So I claim for each that has been spoken here this day, a sense of physical healing, a sense of peace and understanding, a sense of knowing that right now, whatever it is that the body temple is going through, it is going through that to reveal itself, to reveal a greater sense of oneness, to return itself to the wholeness that is God's life, the absoluteness that is God's life. And so I speak this word for each one, activating the blueprint of perfect health, activating that blueprint of the perfect body temple, activating the perfect blueprint of physical healing that is necessary, that is happening, and that is by our own word absolutely commanded to happen right here and right now. So I invite each one that hears these words to lift up in a vibration of yes, in a vibration of healing for ourselves, for those around us on that physical plane. Any sense of cough or any sense of constriction or tightness, just cast all of that aside, because that is not what we are about. We are divine, whole, complete human beings, divine, perfect emanations of the Most High. And in that, I claim for each a sense of embodying that perfect blueprint, that perfect health, that perfect life everlasting. So I am open to this. I invite each one here to be open to that greater physical healing as we affirm this truth, as we release this word into the law and say, and so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. What's
Awesome.
up next, Nanette?
Okay, we have Donalyn, Ricardo, Rafua, Patricia, the Christian family, Brenda, Shipra, Anthony, Saviha, Warren, Silvana, and Grace, who are praying for their strength in sustaining relationships and or dealing with their separation of their relationships from significant others. And also, there's a lot of emotional suffering and from abuse. So it's a relationship one.
Yes. Thank you. And so again, as I allow these names to flood my consciousness, my humanness, as I allow that sense, that vibration of the prayer request that each one has submitted in one way or another, whether through another or for the self, what I know is I know every request must be answered. For each request is a desire, is an expression, is a desire placed into the creative medium, is a desire placed into the creative universe, saying, this is the desire I wish. Perfect relationships, absolutely perfect, harmonious, loving relationships. And what I know is every relationship begins within. So I begin with that place. I begin with that place of loving the self, knowing that as I love myself, those around me will see that love and will respond to that love and will say, I love that you love yourself. And in that, we come to love each other. For each name that has been spoken here, calling out for that sense, that deeper sense of connection, that deeper sense of oneness with the self, with those around, with family members. Maybe there's disagreement or discord. We cast that aside. We come to see the oneness. We come to see the love, and we come to see the truth of each and every being, each and every one across this planet is a divine emanation of God. And if every one is a divine emanation of God, and we are all one, then that is my brother, that is my sister, that is my cousin, that is my friend, that is my lover and my brother and my sister and my mother and my father and my family, and deeply we are one. So there can be no separation. There can be no division. There is the oneness. And in the oneness, all relationships are perfect. In the oneness, all relationships are healed. And so I claim for each that sense of sinking in, of saying yes to that, to the oneness, to the opening, to the great and glorious relationships that are right now expressing in the world. I affirm the same relationship happening in so many glorious aspects of our lives. And so I open to the next and the next. And we bring in our next request.
Okay. On this one, almost everybody who wrote in, and there was at least 100, almost all of them wanted prayers for peace generally and peace in their families.
Yeah. The great word of peace. The great and glorious word of peace. Raising up that word of peace across this entire planet. And what I know is I know that peace is not the absence of the human condition. Peace is the opportunity to stand in the midst of the humanness, in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the question, in the midst of the wondering and the whatevers. Peace is the ability to stand in the midst of whatever is and recognize that there is still God, that too must be God. So there must be something in the midst of it. I claim for each one that hears these words a greater sense of accepting peace, of being that receptivity, to being receptive, not to casting out the judgment of what is going on, but to look upon every experience and say, where is there peace? Where is this a greater call for peace? Where is this, the universe, humanity, a loved one, someone else crying out for peace? And how may I be that peace in the world? How may I be an expression of that peace on the planet, in the world, in my life? For the peace I know begins within. As I raise up a vibration of inner peace, then I am free to vibrate that peace into the planet, into the world, into the human consciousness. And that is what we are doing. And I claim for each and every one, hundreds, thousands, millions, that hold a vision for peace, to simply speak that word. Peace. Peace. Peace in our worldly affairs, peace in our local affairs, peace in our stately affairs, peace in our financial affairs, peace in our human affairs and relationships and family affairs. Peace. Above all, we are peace. Let's add to that. Annette, what else we got?
Okay. Powerful as usual. We have Jamie, Mary, Omar, Carrie, Anhas, Reuben, an anonymous person, Maria, Ignatius, Audie and Holly, Mahima, another anonymous person, Terry, Anne, Jeffrey, KJG, Nikichi, Uthe, Owen, Taya, who would all like prayers for their spirituality and their faith.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, I say a sacred yes, raising up that vibration of absolute faith, the belief in things unseen, in absolute trust, sensing and a knowing that that which is unseen must demonstrate, must manifest, and a deep sense of assurance that all is well, that everything's working out exactly as it must. And so I claim for each of those that is in any way questioning their sense of faith, feeling their faith maybe isn't good enough or strong enough, broad enough or narrow enough. I claim for each one that in any way is seeking a deeper sense of faith and spirituality and commitment to the oneness, commitment to serve, to be a part of this evolutionary process which we are about. I claim for each a sense of recognizing we are all on humanity's team. And so wherever we find our own spirituality, we use that to serve the evolution of humanity, of humanity's team. We serve as in any way that we are called upon. That is the place to find the spirituality. That is the place where our faith is demonstrated. That is the faith, the place where our belief takes form. At the very nexus of our belief and our faith and our trust and our sense of assurance, that is the co-creative process. That is where we are creating the world we desire, a world that works for everyone, for all. And so I claim for each one that is hearing these words, that is saying, what is mine to do? How am I to do this? Where is my God? I claim for each a sense of turning to as near as the very next breath and knowing right there the perfection of God's life reveals itself as your very breath, as your very next thought, as the very next heartbeat. A strength and a sense of deep commitment to the personal inner faith, an inner knowing that all is well, that all is God, and everything's working out exactly as it must. Let's keep it rolling, Annette.
Okay, on to our next. We have Johnsy, Temba, Katrina, Jonalyn, Veronica, Priya, Edward, Becky, Anna, Marilise, Francis, Salama, Joshua, Raphaelia, Edward, Francis, Nikichi, Grace, and Chica, asking for prayers for their financial situations, getting into college, business endeavors. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Ooh, now is the time we dig into that, into the prosperity, into the abundance, into the financial flow, into that deep recognition that there is only one source, only one unlimited, unrestricted source, supply of all that is necessary to bring forth the mighty vision of a world that works for all. That includes the financial aspects of each and every one that has been mentioned here this day, and everyone that hasn't, everyone that's in any way saying, how does this, or where does this go, or any part of our financial sense, our financial assurance, for anyone with any prayers around income and right livelihood and what appear to be human disputes over money and finances. I claim for each a deep sense of knowing, a deep sense of peace, and a deep sense of knowing that the reserves are unlimited, that the reservoir is overflowing and there is no bottom. There is no limit to the amount of good we may each experience. There is no limit to the amount of money we may each claim and call into our lives and experience. And what I know is I know the way the universe works, and the universe brings forth exactly what is necessary, exactly as it's necessary for each and every one of us to fulfill the mighty mission that is ours to fulfill. And so the money that's necessary shows up, the bills get paid, things get taken care of. I don't always know how, and I don't always know from what source, or from what avenue, or from what stream of income, because at the end of the day, what I know is I know it's all God. I know there is only that one source. And that we each draw from God's bank account, in an exact measure to our own beliefs and our own worth, financially, emotionally, in all the different ways that are coming together for us to be in a place of saying, this is my worth, I am worth this. Then that comes forward. As we create the space for more to be revealed, then more reveals itself. And so I worry not about the how is it going to get paid, or who's going to take care of this, or when's this going to happen. I focus on that big picture. I focus on that picture of remembering that at the very core of our being, we are each absolutely prosperous. Everyone on this planet has direct access to God's storehouse. Each one has direct access through our consciousness to claim and attract into our lives the exact amounts necessary for the life we truly desire, for the life we believe we are worthy of. And so I say we increase our belief in our worth. I say we increase our belief in our acceptance. I say we increase our belief that we are sourced, fueled, and funded by a renewable resource that can never run dry. We are funded, each one of us funded from this one resource. That's what I believe. That's what I know. That's what I claim. And I witness how it shows up again and again and again and again in every aspect of life, most especially in these financial aspects. And I claim this for everyone across this planet: an increased sense of, increased experience of revenue, new avenues of financial prosperity and abundance opening up, new experiences of financial consciousness, expanding the way we view our own worth. An opening to the great and unlimited flood that is God's financial bank account, flowing into each and every avenue everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, let's go on to the next. We've only got a couple left because we grouped these because there were so many of them. Let me go back over to that. And let's see, Becky asked for a prayer for her 5 kittens who are trying to overcome a respiratory infection. And then John asked that his beautiful mutt Ruff comes through cancer.
Yes. And we raise up all of the furry creatures on the planet, all the companion creatures, all the creepy crawly creatures and scaly creatures and winged creatures and feathered creatures, all the different forms of life. Bring that consciousness, that awareness, that vibration into the world, recognizing that that too is God's life. God's life does not stop at opposable thumbs. God's life does not stop at the difference between fur and hair. God's life is not missing in the scaly creatures of the world. God is present in those that sting and fly and seem to annoy. It's all there. It's all God. And so I claim for each one, all forms of life, that sense of healing and a knowing that life is working for all, not just everyone, but this is a world that is working for all life, every form of it, from the microscopic to the macroscopic, from that which we can barely see to the giant blue whale, divine emanations of God. And for the human companions of these various pets that we pray for today, for those humans, I claim a deep, deep sense of peace, knowing that you have already served in so many miraculous ways, ushering this pet through the world, ushering this creature through life. That no matter what is next, no matter what comes after this, the work is being done in consciousness to know that there is a great healing that is happening as across the entire planet we are raising up the wild beings, the all life. No more fights, no more slaughters, no more life. Life everlasting, and all is well. And we continue on.
Okay, well, here is our final one for the day, and it's another Reverend. It's Reverend Philip and another Reverend named James. Both asked for prayers for their ministries.
Mm-hmm. So Reverend Philip, Reverend James, Reverend Robert, Reverend Annette, each and every one. What I know there is a special, special blessing, a special, special experience that is called ministry. That is that lifelong commitment to serve the evolution of human consciousness beyond serving our own experience. Of letting go of the human desires, of letting go of the human trappings of opulence and wealth, and moving into an experience of spiritual success. Of not always knowing how what it is I am called to do shall serve, and then being given those subtle reminders of how even the littlest things can make the biggest difference in the mind and the heart of those that are touched. What I know this word ministry is so much bigger than even I understand. I claim for Reverend Philip and Reverend James and all the reverends out there, everyone out there that knows their ministry, regardless of title, regardless of pedigree or education or qualifications. I have heard it said that God does not call the qualified, rather God qualifies the called. And for anyone that hears a calling to serve humanity's evolution, I say, welcome to the team. Welcome to this most sacred work. Welcome to the experience of giving to the planet. And knowing that in whatever way necessary, my human life is uplifted, is sourced, is fueled, is funded, is supplied, is resourced, is given everything necessary to complete the mighty mission, to move forward in the mighty mission of ministry that is mine to do. And if I know that's happening in my life, I know that's happening in the lives of each and every one. That everyone has within them that same ability, that same opportunity, each and every one a living demonstration of God's life. And so the ministry, the reverend, the practitioner, whatever, the pastor, whatever name, whatever label, I claim for each a deep sense of knowing the sacred work we are about. And it is so very appropriate, for this is in so many ways the very definition of what humanity's team is all about. Collectively, together, raising the consciousness, the vibration of humanity. And as one human team, we are in this together. Deeply we are one. Deeply, deeply we are one. And so I know the healing that happens for one, in one, happens for all, in all. And as we each take what is ours to take from this experience, as we each say yes to what is ours in this time that we have spent together, then what I know is I know we are each moving into a greater personal healing, and in that we serve the healing of humanity. And together we raise up. Together we rise up, creating a new world, creating a new life, creating a world that truly works for all. And so I am in this moment filled to overflowing with absolute gratitude for the truth that has revealed itself here this day, for the words that have been spoken, for the emotions and the feelings that have been brought up and felt and experienced, for everything that has happened, everything that has not happened. I speak a blessing for any name that has been missed, forgotten, or lost to the technologies. Anyone that's submitted a request during this experience that we've not seen, I know right there the blessing is occurring as well. I am filled to gratitude, to great experiences of gratitude, to be the conduit through which God reveals this truth. And so I get myself out of the way, knowing the divine is truly the one doing all the work. I get out of the way. I release this word into the law of the universe that must demonstrate, that must manifest, that is already operating to bring forward all the parts, all the pieces, all the connections, all the resources to fulfill each and every prayer brought forth this day, for everyone brought forth this day. And so we are done. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Robert. I really appreciate you. You really do a great job.
Thank you, Reverend Nanette. You're Reverend Nanette in my mind now. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
That's my story. We're sticking to it.
Okay.
Special shout out to Steve Farrell from Humanities Team. Let's find a way to get this woman ordained, okay?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And everyone out there watching, thank you so much for being with us. Please do check out Humanities Team. I thought I had grabbed the link where you can submit your prayer requests for next month, but head over to the website, and it's not hard to find. It's pretty easy to find the Power of Prayer call and submit your requests. Send those over to us. Nanette and I will, and I want you to know I read every one of them as they come in. So every day I'm getting several requests a day, and I'm going through those and adding them to my daily prayers. And then here on the first Sunday of the month, what we're going to do is kind of recap that and bring it all together into what we trust is a very inspiring, uplifting, and meaningful experience for you on a monthly basis to be in the power of prayer with us. So thanks again, Nanette, for all you're doing the heavy lifting. I just get to show up and pray. So
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you. I think we're on equal footing.
there we go. Cool. Perfect.
All righty. Have a great day.
Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Where's my movie?